Lagos has a rich history of economic growth and transformation, a strategic influencer and propeller of technology, commerce, education, tourism, arts, and fashion, both locally and internationally. Lagos is indeed the global city of choice. Let's talk about Africa's most populous city, once again on the City of Lagos TV show. You're welcome. You're still watching the City of Lagos TV show. Right now, we're about to bring you latest official engagements of Mr. Governor in recent times. First,
recipient to step forward, His Excellency Governor Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, the Governor of Lagos State.
In recognition of his outstanding accomplishments, the Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, was conferred with the award of the prestigious degree Doctor Public Administration at the 14th convocation ceremony of the Ajayi Crowther University recently in Oyo State.
Chancellor Sir, Governor Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu has been found worthy by the Senate and Council of this university and by records of his notable accomplishments to be deserving of the award of the prestigious degree of Doctor of Public Administration honoris causa at this convocation.
The Lagos State Budget Revenue Stakeholders Retreat, which held in Lagos, saw various presentations, analyses, and permutations by key stakeholders and experts, bringing to the fore key strategic challenges and issues with the sole focus to improve the revenue base of Lagos State. One critical aspect of great concern to Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, was the issue of low returns from land use charge in the state. Mr. Governor, however, in his analysis, suggested possible ways of improving revenue generated from land use charge.
When we came in, it was zero. Zero because, there was a particular year where the last administration, it was a total, noise dive of land use charge. But you also can, see that even with our growth in enumeration on a depressed budget, we are doing 17%. So that in itself cannot be acceptable, right? And we also know that, yes, it's true, we've given consultants in 5 divisions and all of that. I thought what you probably would have suggested is with EGIS coming up, with a lot of mapping, that will give precision as into what the properties also look like, it will make, dispatch of bills a lot faster, and we can do a lot more follow-up after that. Yes, it's true, we need community engagement. So in some localities, in some areas, but the real center of the city, where 80-20, where the 80% you are meant to be taking, there really no distraction of any traditional ruler or something. So we just need to be able to be more intentional. Let's try and get the bills out early in the year and have a strategy around follow up, and be able to get those numbers wrap up very, very quickly. Those 5 consultants that you have, you can do a review next week, 2 weeks, and say if 2 of them are not done well or not, fire them. I don't know what are the terms of engagement, but you can actually ask them to go if you think that they've not done well. But like I said, with EGIS and all of that, there's nothing stopping us from getting the bills ready by the end of January or latest by February, so that we can, begin to see how we can, and the rate as well. People have come to me privately and said to me that, Governor, how can you do Thompson Avenue? I mean, Commissioner knows. How can you do Mevatin, do all of those high-end properties in Ikoyi, and we're charging them 42,000 naira? They said it's an insult because they are sitting on 4,000 square meters of prime estate. Some of the values of those properties, people were selling those properties at 700 million. Now they're doing 3 billion. And we're still sending them bills of 45,000, 74,000, when they said that they can conveniently pay 4 million, 5 million. We're not saying that should reflect also in Alimosho, but people have come up to say to us that, Mr. Governor, we've seen what you have done. The value I've done in regeneration of Ikoyi and VI alone can indeed give us 4 folds of our total budget size that we have now. And so that's where we need to start a conversation. And it's only when we explain to them that if they do well, we can do a bit of, subsidy in those other places, in other parts of the state where, it might be a lot more difficult for us to collect. Because development of what we're doing, we're not leaving any part of the city alone. And once you do Lekki Ekpe Express Road, the plot of land that you all know that they are selling for 300,000 per plot is now 1.4 million, is now 1.8 million. That's value that we've created.
The Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, recently launched the year 2023 Nigerian Legion Remembrance Day emblem in Lagos. Mr. Governor, who used the occasion to congratulate the new executive, promised to support the Legion by addressing their requests and equally urging them to uphold high level of professionalism in the discharge of their duties.
History behind what you have all done, given the history behind where even our country is, where the global world is. Your service at this point cannot be, overemphasized. And so I want to say to you that we understand and we appreciate that you deserve as much support that we could give, and you deserve as much support as you've requested for. Right? We will take our time to go through each and every one of them and see which one we will be able to deal with. You've said to us that the things that you have highlighted, that I should implement them within my second term of 4 years. It's like counting the chicken before they are hatched. We are still in the period of electioneering. We don't want to take Lagosians for granted. Elections will not happen until February and March, and we're all out conversing to have led by example this morning, to have gone to collect my PVC, and I want to enjoin all of our citizens, all of you, if you have words, if you have children, or if you have relatives that you need to encourage or inform to go collect their PVC, please go ahead and collect it. Commander, is only after collecting the PVC and they go and vote and I'm declared winner that this second term will now become effective. But I like your enthusiasm and I like your spiritual belief that we will win. We will win because we believe the Lagosians too will do the right thing and they will do the proper thing. And it's also because we believe that we have earned it. We have worked very, very hard and will continue to do that. So you are on the right track, but it's not happened until when it is happening. So we take it and we'll continue to do our very best to ensure that we'll earn the trust, and the commitments of our people.
In fulfillment of his civic responsibility, the Lagos State Governor recently visited the Lagos Island office of INEC to collect his PVC. He, however, enjoined Lagosians and Nigerians in general to do same.
Because I did a redesignation of my address, where I was and where I am now, I had to move my polling unit, and I'm here to demonstrate with all of our citizens that I've complied. I've come to pick my reprinted voters card, and I want to enjoin and I want to ask everyone, let us seize this opportunity to go out and collect our PVC. I have collected mine. You can see that I'm at the INEC office here and it's peaceful. Within 2 minutes, they sorted it out and I signed to collect my own. So my advice is for all of us that still have our PVCs uncollected, please come out and collect and do the rightful thing. It's only with this that you can participate in next year's election. I wish all of us the very best. And as we go into this exercise, I hope that it's something that we'll take very seriously as another civic responsibility. Thank you very much.
The Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, conducted a groundbreaking ceremony and redevelopment of the Igbo High Court alongside some of his key executive members recently in Lagos. Mr. Governor, who went down memory lane as to what actually happened to the High Court, assured Lagosians that the state government will do all it takes to build a better and stronger edifice.
This is a significant and an important event that we cannot but gloss over and not let history be put in proper perspective and put the records very straight. And so that's why I'm humbled that you've all turned out this morning to witness the groundbreaking and the redevelopment of our heritage, something that has been part of the Lagos story. The Lagos High Court here in Igbo. And a lot of people have given it different names. It's not just an historic edifice, but it was, and it will come back to be the oldest facility that continues to discharge justices in our country and in the state of Lagos. This was an edifice that indeed has been in existence before any of us in this place here today. But like we all know, events that happened about 2 years and 2 months ago, to be precise, endless, needless protests that befell our city. Nothing that we knew about, nothing that we caused, nothing that was generated by us. In fact, activity that we took the charge and we led to bring about with an amicable solution. It's part of our history, but as people, as resilient people, no matter how many falls down, is the ability to raise up, to rise up, and pick up whatever it is and come out stronger, bigger, and better. So that you do not allow the forces that must have brought you down have a field day. That's why we have decided to let the whole world know that indeed the reconstruction and the rebuilding of Igbo High Court is live, is direct, and we will all be alive to see the completion by the grace of God.
And finally, from the governor's office, the Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, was recently decorated as Grand Patron of Oriwu Club in Ikorodu. Mr. Governor, who was appreciative of the honor, used the occasion to highlight the key major infrastructural developments his government has been able to put in place in the town and equally mentioned ongoing projects.
I think it's important for me to, as much as I can remember, modestly say a few things that we have done all around the Ikorodu division and the fact that we intend to also do a lot more. His Royal Majesty Oba Sekumade had commended and thanked us for doing the Ipakodo Sekumade Road, which we will commission in January. We're trying to clean up the roundabout. But we've also commissioned and completed the Tamaga Iwelepe Road. And that's phase 1. Phase 2 of it is also ongoing, going towards Idagberi Bay. And we want to also go towards Ijede so that we can complete that whole loop. We have also completed, the jetty, the floating jetty at Ijede. The very, very difficult Agric-Ishawo is ongoing. We're pushing it to ensure that it's about 60%, 65% right now. Passion Olorunfumi is always reminding me about Igbogbo Bayeku Road, right? We know that we're also owing some of the buildings that were demolished there. I gave him commitment that we will still pay the outstanding compensation on that road, and I'm giving those commitments again, we will pay. I know that it's been a road in which the contractor is moving in and out, but we will complete that road. The Igbogbo going towards Igbogbo town, I think we've done extensive rehabilitation there. We are also doing a lot around the roundabout here. KBC also mentioned it. We start with KBC at that time, and we're trying to see what kind of a traffic solution we needed to bring to the roundabouts. We felt that a bridge there's going to be a lot of demolition that will even affect maybe the central mosque and all of that. And we said a traffic widening of that road will be, a better solution. And I'm sure you know that your son is the Honorable Commissioner for Transportation. I take responsibility, or he gets a whooping if you don't do it well. And you can see coming there that the widening is taking place, but because it's a road that is being used every day, the contractor we cannot completely take and block the road. So we have to be very creative on how we do it. But I'm sure before we finish the dry season, we should have almost completed our road between now and May next year.
And that's the package from the Governor's Office segment on the City of Lagos TV show. The show will continue right after this time out.
Hello Lagosians, I am Engineer Mukhtar Tijani, General Manager, Lagos Electricity Board. This is a clarion call for you to participate in the Own the Streetlights initiative. The purpose is to ensure the streetlights that we are working hard to ensure the expansion and availability is owned by you. Protect your streetlights, ensure your safety. Igbega Ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, Àjùmọ̀ṣe gbogbo wa ni.
You're welcome to Property Lagos on the City of Lagos TV show. There is a critical agency that is saddled with ensuring that ownership of homes in Lagos is a dream come true. And this is one organization that is setting the pace in mass housing in the City of Lagos. I'm talking about the Lagos State Mortgage Board, also known as Lagos Homes. Let's welcome the General Manager, Chief Executive Officer of the Lagos State Mortgage Board, Mr. Bayowa Forsyth. It's a pleasure to have you on the program.
Thank you.
What is the mandate, the vision and mission statement of this esteemed organization?
The mandate is to reduce the housing deficit in Lagos. That was why the Lagos State Mortgage Board was created. The Lagos Mortgage and Property Law established in the year 2010, and the board was inaugurated in the year 2014. The primary factor or the reasons why this was created with the acronym for Lagos Homes called Lagos Home Ownership Mortgage Scheme. This is based on the fact that looking at statistics, the housing deficit in Lagos alone is over 4 million. So the government looked holistically into it and see that how do we mitigate this situation, and they came up with the Lagos Homes Ownership Mortgage Scheme, where you can access homes built by the government with a single-digit interest rate, a reduced and subsidized asking price on the property.
Lagosians would like to know what are the various strategic efforts, products, initiatives, and projects that you've actually executed, employed to set a pace in bridging the house deficit in Lagos.
We looked at the statistics and felt the deficit is so much. And we saw that we had people working in the center of Lagos and living in the suburb. So quality of life was actually very low. You get people wanting to get into work at about 8 o'clock in the morning. They leave Okokomaiko, for example, at 4 o'clock in the morning to get to work for 8 o'clock. They leave probably Marina, the center of the city, at 5 o'clock after work and not get home until about 11 o'clock. So the government thought wherever we find land within the city, we can now build. And that is why today you can go to Ilupeju and you see 120 units of 1, 2, and 3 bedroom on the Lagos Home Mortgage Scheme. You can go to Ogba in Wemko Road, you see 144 units and another 96. That is Anthony Ainahoro Scheme on Wemko Road. So we're building in the 5 divisions of Lagos. The Ibile divisions we have in Badagry, Mushi, Ikorodu. The governor, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, has just commissioned 2 solid schemes in Ikorodu. One is the Prince Abiodun Guleye scheme that has 360 units of 1, 2, and 3 bedroom. We only just about a month and a half ago, the governor commissioned the Ibeshe housing scheme in Ikorodu as well. We're looking to go into Agbowa very soon that has 660 units. And all these are for Lagos residents. We'll come back to the Lagos Central area, which we have 744 units of Otedola housing scheme that we're currently pushing out to Lagos residents as we speak. There's the other aspect of the Otedola phase 2, 444 units, which is coming up very soon. All these are for Lagosians. But primarily, there are certain things you have to be able to show to the board. One, you have to either be in full-time employment or do your own business as a self-employed and show that you have a monthly income. Basically, what we do here, we pre-qualify. You cannot use more than 33 1/3% of your monthly net income to service the repayments over the monthly repayment.
Lagosians would like to know how affordable, accessible, and available are these housing units for Lagosians?
In comparing to what you have in the private sector, the government has actually really subsidized these housing schemes. In terms of asking price, for Lagos residents, we've gone as low as 1.5 million for a room and parlor in Ekpe that has been fully subscribed to. With that, you only pay 15,000 naira per month. The equity contribution of 5% is just 75,000 naira. The interest, a premium of about 6%, and that shows is very good. For the Igbobo scheme, the maximum price you would pay on the 3-bedroom is 8.5 million. But you don't have to put that 8.5 million down. You put an equity contribution of 400,000 and a repayment of about 82,000 every month. Accessibility. Looking at the super urban area, which we're calling Otedola, the Lekki axis, you wouldn't really call that social housing. But you have people who work in the aviation sector, work in the communication sector, who do not necessarily want to buy land. They just want, ready-made. We have people even in the banking sector, entertainment sector, that really want these places. So those ones are going for 15 million, 20 million, and 25. The repayments for that is for the 1-bedroom, you have 158,000 per month. For the 2-bedroom, you have 210,000 per month. And the 3-bedroom is 263, thereabout. If you look at that, if we're going to do a pre-qualification on that, for the 3-bedroom, you should be able to show us that your monthly net income that comes to you is just a little bit over 800,000 naira per month. We do it firstly on first come, first serve basis. Now we must understand that the demand is so high. They have so much confidence in the government now, most especially when Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu took the reins of affairs and made housing one of the key factors in his team's agenda, making housing 21st century economy. He has commissioned so much within the last 2 years. He has done probably about 14 estates. That suffices to say that the demand is more than the supply. Then the second thing we look at is the debt to income ratio, is a factor at which we look at who to allocate and who not to. Because in this game, you have potential defaulters. And the only way you get your potential defaulters is through the pre-qualification process. We have a process here. Once you get the offer letter and do all the payments, it's even stated on the offer letter that there is an insurance premium to be paid. Whilst you're making that payment, there's a risk. There's a risk on your side and there's a risk on the government side. The risk on government side is that you've only paid probably about 5% of the asking price of the property. So the 95% risk is on the government. So it's statutory and mandatory you make that insurance payment against fire. On the other side, you have life insurance, and that is for you. And we make it very important. So if anything happens to you, then our insurance, which is the Lagos State Insurance, LASACO, make those payments. They either do the payment as against the unit itself, spouses or your children, they take possession of those units. So it's very important. We always put a facilities manager there. They meet, all the allottees meet a facilities manager before they move in. In fact, it is the FM that will midwife them into various apartments. So we make it very, very important that a facilities manager is appointed to every scheme, and we make sure that facilities management payments are made initially, then subsequent ones are made annually.
What is the nature and level of synergy with other key stakeholders? Are there challenges you face in this business?
All we do here is we pre-qualify and we do the allocation based on when the units are completed. However, whilst these constructions are going on, we go there, we inspect, we look at the timelines as well. If they give us a June completion, we come back and tell Lagos residents that Agbawa scheme is going to be ready in June. So obviously that synergy we have with the ministry that builds all these houses, the Lagos State Development Property Corporation, who are home providers as well. Apart from that, we also do collaboration and talk to the private sector based on what they really can provide for the state government, even through the ministry. Such projects that have actually happened lately was the Ecostone collaboration. They built about 255 units of 2 and 3 bedroom bungalows in Idale, in Badagry. Very soon, that will be completed and brought onto the rent-to-own program of government. The main challenge is the supply side. What government has done lately, I don't think there's any government apart from that in Lagos that have done something like this. To date, over 10,000 individuals would have benefited from what the state government has done regarding the rent-to-own program and the mortgage scheme. In the next probably 36 months, the first set of beneficiaries of this scheme will be rounding up. They're going to hit their 120th month in about 36 months' time. As at the time they bought this property, I could say today that they're not going to sell it at that price. What we need from the government is to build more units for teeming Lagosians who need these units.
On a final note, what's your word of assurance and encouragement to Lagosians, prospective house owners, and of course to your stakeholders?
First and foremost, on behalf of Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, the talk and do it governor, who has been so passionate about shelter, who obviously we all know came from the shelter sector as the managing director of the Lagos State Development Property Corporation, and brought that wealth of expertise into running Lagos as a whole. We want to say today that this is a very, very important sector to us. Those who have not benefited, we are here. You can call on us. We are open to you. Whatever the issues are, I want to say clearly today that it's a thing in progress. We're going to build round the 5 divisions of Lagos. Those who do not get Songotedo Phase 1 will get Songotedo Phase 2. Keep knocking at our door. We're here to make sure the housing unit goes round Lagosians. To stakeholders, the demand is high and supply low. We want to collaborate with the private sector to be able to have more units, and we're open to innovations as well. Basically, it's just been a success so far.
Thank you, sir, for coming.
Thank you very much for having me today.
Well, it's been a wonderful time speaking with Mr. Forsyth. It's quite clear that Lagosians are in for a good deal when it comes to home ownership in the city of Lagos. We'll be right back after this time out on the City of Lagos TV show. Stay tuned.
Hello Lagosians, my name is Cecilia Bolaji Dada, the Honorable Commissioner for Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation in Lagos State. I'm here to protect your welfare and your economic empowerment. I'm here to support you. I'm here to protect you. With the support of the Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, who is very passionate about the plight of women in Lagos State. Together, we will eradicate poverty to the barest minimum in Lagos State. Avail yourself of all the opportunities out there. We have 19 skills acquisition centers spread across the 5 divisions of Lagos State, where all the skills are taught tuition-free. Are you a woman? Are you a youth? Are you unemployed? Are you looking for a source of livelihood? Visit us in the Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation. So far, we have empowered over 65,000 women in Lagos State. Avail yourself of such opportunity as well. Lagos has zero tolerance for lazy people, not just women. Visit us in Block 18, Alausa, Ikeja. With the Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, is a sure bet to get out of poverty. Ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, àjùmọ̀ṣe wa.
In the city of Lagos presently, millions of Lagosians cannot afford a decent, affordable accommodation. Can the Lagos State government help in this regard? Lagosians speaks.
I feel the government is not really putting enough effort into regulating some of the policies that surround property, especially when it comes to the landlords and the nonsense they do in terms of they will get money from you, they promise you a kind of standard. When you get in, there's a different ball game. When you try to stand on your rights, they ask questions like, "Now you buy property for me." We cannot be paying for something we are not getting. I had a lot of experiences myself, and I also have a friend who was actually in this kind of institution where he paid a landlord some money, paid agency, paid commission and all that. Got to the house and discovered that when it was rainy season, it was leaking. Another thing again about property is the ridiculous way landlords increase the house rents. They don't care. They just increase the house rents.
The house rate is increasing based on the increase in the cost of living, because some of those landlords are dependent on the house rent they collect in order to survive. So because of it, they will increase in order to meet up. As your house rent increases, your salary is either the same or is reduced. But the Lagos State government can do their own part by kind of finding way, maybe creating more enabling environment for foreign companies to come so that people will be employed, the rate of employment will increase, thereby reducing the rate of unemployment and boosting the economy of the state.
Housing is on the high side. You just need to go for the area you know you could afford, because an average house now is like 300, 350 in Lagos now. Lagos is them stressful, especially for the average worker. So what the government can do is that they could try to put in a better road network so that it could ease the traffic on the road and make people have a more balanced work-life relationship.
The housing in Lagos is quite expensive compared to other states. And the reason is that there are a lot of people entering Lagos and going out every day. What I will employ government to do is that all those old houses to find a way to give the owners money, then build at least 5 to 7 story building so that people coming in, they won't be having problem of accommodation.
More people are moving out of Lagos now because of the price of living. Imagine someone working at Ikeja, living at Ogun State. It's terrible. A single room in Lagos, almost 8,000 naira.
Housing in Lagos is expensive, extremely expensive and unfair, especially to tenants. My advice to the government is that they should look into it and see what they can do to the poor masses and the average Lagosians.
Lagos is improving. I think if we can have a little bit of understanding and cooperation, things is changing. By the grace of God, it will be better. That housing policy is not something we can tell the government, because the estate agents, they have their own estate, because it's you and me that is doing it for the government. Not that what we're seeing is not good, but they need to improve on it.
Well, it is obvious that the Lagos State government can help in this regard, since it has all it takes to improve on its housing policies to help Lagosians. I am Abisola Oladele. The program continues in a moment.
Lagosians, my name is Omodia, of course, your gospel artist of the week on Entertainment Lagos on the City of Lagos TV show. It's Hallelujah time with me. I will be right back. Okay, Lagosians, we're back. Okay, I know say, I don't know who I be. Well, my name is Omodia Oyedepo. I'm from the Asian-speaking part of Edo State. I've been in the music industry for like 11 years now, professionally. I found Jesus and I found gospel music because I like music. The gospel is for reconciliation. Gospel music, taking people back to their creator. My mentors, the first person that really touched me was Donnie McClurkin. My songs, just 1 or 2 albums for now. I have 2 great songs. The first one is Gratitude, just showing your gratitude to God. The other one is Calling Out Your Name. Everything can change, calling out the name of Jesus. Okay, Lagos, it's time to show some gratitude. Make we give gratitude to God. From me, titled Gratitude.
When I think about all you've done for me, how you set me free, open more. All I see around is testimonies, and because of your deeds, I am a superhuman. And they ask me what to do for me. I did tell them, Majesty, if it no be God, oh, if it no be God, oh, what I for carry me go, open more. If it no be God, oh, if it no be God, oh, I for sit down the loop. So I say thank you about the way me God. When I wake up, your praise is on my lips, and I worship you still. Open more. You surround me with your grace, and now I see that you're always with me. You never leave me, yeah. Still they ask me who they do for me. I did tell them, Majesty, if it no be God, oh, if it no be God, oh, what's up for carry me go, open more. If it no be God, oh, if it no be God, oh, yeah, I for sit on the loop. So I say thank you about so baby God.
Okay, welcome back. Did you listen to the song? I sure so I enjoyed that song. Gratitude. You can get my songs on all platforms, Spotify, Audiomack, Boomplay. Just type Omodia and everything will pop up. You can find me on social media. First of all, on Facebook, you can just type Omodia Oyedepo. Twitter, you can catch me on Omodia for real. On Instagram, Omodia for real _. Just put the underscore. You catch me there. Okay, my people, we'll go soon to come out. But before I go, let me leave you with this. There's a songwriter that says, don't give up on God, cause He won't give up on you. He's able. Woo! Lagosians, I've had such a great time with you guys. But before I leave, let's just worship God together. Before I leave, we're going to do this song together. It's titled Calling Out Your Name. That is the name of Jesus, that name that is more powerful than any other name.
Standing in your presence, knowing all I have is you. I'm calling out your name. Your name, Son of righteousness. Come on, sing with me. Standing in your presence. Knowing all I have is you. Staying strong in worship.
Lagos has a great future ahead. Don't be left out. So come on board the City of Lagos TV show on TV Nigeria to be part of it. Thanks for watching.